You can find us on Facebook page, NTA Network News, and on Instagram, NTA Network for all the updates. Let's begin by telling you that President Muhammadu Buhari says the show of unity displayed by APC members at the just concluded National Convention has placed the party on a firmer footing for victory in 2023 general elections. The president, who witnessed the inauguration of the elected party executives, remarked that the smooth conduct of the election raises the prospect of a mouth-watering APC victory next year. A statement by his senior special assistant on media and publicity, Garba Shehu, described the successful conduct of the convention as a victory over naysayers as well as voters of Nigeria who can now be assured of a smooth succession to new leadership in 2023. It says what the convention made clear was how the media has been peddling fake news of division when the hard reality of unity, cohesion, and indeed personal warmth between members of the party and leadership was evident for all to see. Garba Shehu assures Nigerians that as the stage is now set for the 2023 elections, APC offers a track record of success and leadership, while the opposition has only decades of failure and complicity in response. In the meantime, stalwarts of the All Progressives Congress have described the party's national convention as a model of democracy and good leadership, where the best crop of party leaders are put forward in a consensus arrangement. While reviewing the convention on NTA's Good Morning Nigeria, the APC chieftains are optimistic of victory come 2023 general elections. Let's get details from Lydia Sampson.
All Governor Simon Bakula, along of Plateau State, Minister of Transportation Rotimi Chibuke Amechi, and Senator Surajuddin Bashir, the new national chairman of the party, Senator Abdullahi Adamu, is a round peg in a round hole. They believe that Senator Adamu's political antecedent and experience are credentials needed to scale up the fortunes of the party in the build-up to the 2023 general elections.
A party without leadership, it's difficult to arrive at consensus because everybody is a leader and everybody determines his interests. But in this case, I will say that we have a very focused leader.
At a stage, Nigerians felt worried that they had so much hope on APC, and it looked as if it was crashing. At the end of the day, we came out with a strong executive that carried everybody's interest.
Senator Adamu played very important role in being able to bring us APC senators together to ensure that we're able to have a leadership that is true to the creed of a National Assembly that works for Nigeria.
They applauded what they called the unique zoning of national offices, which promoted inclusiveness and drew representation from all stakeholders. Going forward, they are confident that the party's primaries will produce credible candidates.
There are also amendments to ensure that at all levels of our party, peoples with disabilities have elective positions from the unit to the ward to the state to the national level.
Having contested an election, you are recognized in the party for appointments sometimes. So if they win, if the party wins an election, certainly the party must also recognize you for contributing towards the success of that election.
The most important is how to move the party forward without further infractions or factionalization.
Commended President Muhammadu Buhari for his intervention, which they said produced a successful convention. In Abuja, Lydia Sampson, NTA News.
The Buhari Media Organization has commended President Muhammadu Buhari for the allocation of additional 253 operational vehicles to the Nigerian police. The group noted that recent order by the Inspector General of Police, Usman Baba Alkali, for the distribution of additional batches of uniforms, kits, accoutrements and body armors, along with the newly acquired vehicles, is a clear demonstration of the President's determination to equip the Nigerian police adequately. In a statement signed by its chairman, Ni Akinshiju, and Secretary Cassidy Madueke, the group said this is also in line with the President's three-pronged agenda of security, economy and anti-corruption. BMO believes the equipment and vehicles which will be distributed among the police rank and file across all formations to enhance their operational capabilities, efficiency and service to the country will also boost the morale of the personnel of the Nigerian Police Force, their welfare and conditions of service. The group also noted that the gesture, coming on the heels of recent rumor of police personnel embarking on a nationwide industrial action, will definitely make them more proactive and responsive in the line of duty. Philanthropy entails improving the welfare of others, especially the less privileged, who cannot return the gesture. This is what King Salman Humanitarian Aid and Abuja's Siddiq Philanthropic Home set out to do when they flagged off the distribution of food basket to 13,800 indigent Nigerians. Suleiman Abdulwahab reports.
Giving charity to less privileged often comes in form of capacity building, provision of structures and other items that can add value to life. King Salman Humanitarian Aid and Habiba Al Sadiq Philanthropic Home are known for providing these services to less privileged in Abuja communities since 2015.
Very quite exalted because I was not opportuned to be among those that were here some years back. Which I don't know that something very pertinent is happening here.
The Deputy Ambassador to Saudi Arabia to Nigeria, Faisal Al Sofia Al Gamdi, says King Salman Humanitarian Aid has been focusing on the vulnerables in the Northeast for the past 6 years. He added that the foundation is expanding its reach to more centers for enhanced impact.
Over the past 6 years, the government of the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, through King Salman Center, has spent more than $5 billion on 1,919 projects in 79 countries.
This project is meant to give people who are poor food, and the project is estimated to feed about 13,800 people. It is 138 tons of food, so that is a lot.
It is a project whereby we give out food to the vulnerable, the less privileged, in support of the King Salman Humanitarian Aid and Relief Center.
This year, King Salman Center will be focusing on health and medicals for more reach to more states in the country. In Abuja, Suleiman Abdulwahab, NT News.
And in Kano, as the holy month of Ramadan draws near, a Tam Food Basket project has distributed food items to poor and vulnerable people in the state. Muhammad Ali reports that the gesture is in partnership with King Salman Humanitarian Aid and Relief Center, Saudi Arabia, and Worker Siddiq Philanthropic Home, Nigeria. We'll bring you the full details of that report in our subsequent bulletin. The House of Representatives Joint Committees investigating the recent explosion of a crude oil vessel at Escravos has requested for details of casualties recorded as a result of the accident. National Assembly correspondent Lami Ali reports some of those aboard the vessel are still missing after the explosion.
Investigative hearing by the House of Representatives Joint Committees on Petroleum Resources Upstream, Downstream and Host Communities is to obtain information on the why and how of the accident. It will also enable assessments of the economic and environmental impact on livelihood of communities in the area. Of concern to the committees is that the contents of the floating production, storage and offloading FPSO, a vessel used for storage and processing of gas, is yet to be evacuated since the explosion, which occurred over a month ago.
Trinity Spirit FPSO had an explosion, which we believe is dangerous and hampering other residents of the area in carrying out their normal business, especially those in the community, the host community area where this oil asset is located.
Persons died, some were rescued, some people have been arrested. Police investigation is ongoing. We would not want to preempt some of those investigations, whether it is people who are attempting to steal crude or whatever. We will get all of that, and all of that will be carried in our reports.
The House says it wants to ensure safety and restore confidence. From the National Assembly, Lami Ali, NTA News.
Lami Ali there reporting. Information and Culture Minister Lai Mohammed says desperate opposition have vowed to consistently misinform Nigerians in their bid to return to power and resume looting of the nation's treasury as they are used to. The minister stated this at a media briefing in Abuja. Anthony Forson reports.
What infrastructure did they leave behind? How many kilometers of roads did they leave behind?
Reeling out the achievements of the present administration, the Information and Culture Minister was emphatic about progress made by the country under APC rule as compared to the 16 years of the opposition.
In their most recent act of desperation, they sought to erase 7 years of unprecedented achievements by the Buhari administration. In the most egregious show of shamelessness and a blatant refusal to be remorseful, they even had the temerity to express righteous indignation that the damage they inflicted on the country in their 16 years of rule.
Lai Mohammed noted that a viable opposition is desirable in a democracy, not an opposition that advocates for the destruction of the very country which it seeks to want to govern.
When they had the money, when petroleum was selling for almost $100 for more than 10 years, what did they do with it? They frittered it away. If we left a sound economy, if they left behind a sound economy, a sound infrastructure, we'll not be building will not be completing the 30-year-old Itakwe Warri. We'll not be building a brand new standard gauge rail from Lagos to Ibadan. We will not. How many times have they, on paper, launched the Niger Bridge, the Second Niger Bridge? How many times did they re-award the Lagos-Ibadan Express? You see, and I said, we were in opposition, but we were viable, we were vibrant, and we did not seek to destroy Nigeria. Anybody in Nigeria today, whether political party or individual, that is wishing for another answer, does not deserve to rule this country.
Admitting that challenges exist, government, he said, is not resting on its oars, pointing at infrastructural development under the present administration. Lai Mohammed said it has never been this good, just as an enabling environment created for economic growth and investment. The minister said it is always in the interest of fairness to put the records straight. However, the ruling APC is not under any illusion that the opposition will stop its disinformation campaign. In Abuja, Anthony Forson, NTA News.
The Federal High Court sitting in Abuja has refused the request for bail made by the suspended Deputy Commissioner of Police, Abba and 6 others bail, but however promised to give the matter accelerated hearing. Justice Nwiti, in his ruling, held that the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency has successfully established why bail should not be granted to the defendants. He said, having considered the affidavit, evidence supplied by parties and proof of evidence, he was convinced that the prosecution has successfully raised reasonable presumption of criminal responsibility on the part of the defendants. Justice Emeka Nwiti ordered that the suspended DCP and 6 others be transferred to Correctional Center for detention. The case has been adjourned to 28th of April for the review of facts in respect of the case against the 2 accused that pleaded guilty. We're heading to Lagos now to join Michael, so here we'll pick up from there. Michael?
Thank you, Ruth. Lagos State Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu has given a 7-day ultimatum for traders to vacate these spaces under the Akungbo Bridge or face the full wrath of the law. Musa Toliash reports that the governor gave the marching order while inspecting the extent of damage done to the Akungbo Bridge by a recent fire incident in Lagos.
Colossal damage done to the bridge by the inferno necessitated the marching orders pronounced by Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu, and he did not mince words.
So Wednesday is the deadline for everybody that has anything to have left there. The place is is now we're going to start extensive clearing of the place. It's unfortunate. They refuse to take care of public assets. And all of the things that were happening under this bridge is totally unacceptable. Between the last 2 years and now, we've had 8 fire incidents in our various bridges.
The intensity of the inferno may not have been felt by anyone, but its impact has left devastating effects on the bridge, and it is glaring for everyone to see. Affected traders pleaded to be allowed to continue doing business under the bridge, but that plea was needless.
But we are just appealing because millions of naira has gone down the drain, and giving us 7 days is really touching and devastating. Some people are still in the hospital. We don't know where to go.
What we hear from state government and federal government say they want to relocate us from here, and we are begging them to please let us be here, continue selling. Governors just come to our help. They should come and help us. They should not drive us. They should have tamper justice with mercy.
For now, all there is left for these traders is to bemoan their fate, count their losses, and start looking elsewhere to start their lives afresh as the countdown to the 7-day ultimatum issued by the Lagos State government intensifies. In Lagos, Musa Toliat, NTA News.
The fire incident involving a petrol tanker at Loto end of Lagos-Ibadan Expressway is one disaster that should not have happened if the tanker driver had cultivated the culture of adhering to road safety guidelines on speed limits around construction zone. The Zonal Commanding Officer, FRSC, in charge of Lagos and Ibadan, Assistant Corps Marshal Peter Kibo, stated this during a visit to the scene of the fire. Let's join Adini Taiwo for an update.
Thank you, Michael. I'm sure you saw the balls of fire that went so high into the skyline of Lagos-Ibadan Expressway yesterday. Well, this is where the incident happened, at the Loto end of Lagos-Ibadan Expressway, and it was caused by this tanker, which we learned, collided with one of the barriers at the construction zone here.
This tanker was coming on high speed and was not able to control himself. That's why he hit the pavement and it somersaulted and there was fire outbreak. Luckily enough, we did not record any casualty. It's only that the vehicle was found beyond repairs.
We tried to put down the fire, but we didn't see any fire service.
Thankfully, the fire has been put out, but while it lasted, it did quite a lot of damage to infrastructure around here. This is one of the examples. In the meantime, normalcy has been restored to a flow of traffic on the highway. We came here and met a number of road safety operatives who are trying to ensure that the incident did not cause a gridlock along this axis.
We are making effort to make sure that the carcass is removed from here immediately. It's a crash. Police is also involved because I learned the driver is already under the police custody.
Coming in quick succession after the Akpogbo Bridge fire incident and the one that happened along Lekki-Ajah Expressway, this particular incident is about the third, if not the fourth, in the last 1 week. And this speaks volume about the need for road users to be extra careful, particularly around construction zone. From the Loto end of Lagos-Ibadan Expressway, Adeni Taiwo for NTA News.
Do not forget to follow this news broadcast live on our website at nta.ng/live and on YouTube at NTA News Online. You can also visit our Facebook page at NTA Network News, Twitter handle at NTA News Now, and on Instagram at NTA Network for updates. Time now for a break, after which nationwide we continue with Nana in Sokoto.
157-kilometer Lagos-Ibadan Railway is the first double-track standard gauge railway to be built in West Africa. The Mobolaji Johnson train station is a masterpiece, an infrastructure that is gradually becoming an iconic building in Lagos State. The modern facilities put the station on a world map of train stations. Likewise, other new train stations across the country built to world-class standards. The train and its convenience is indeed an admirable effort, with commendations from Nigerians.
This is a station that we have to commend the federal government for putting a beautiful face, empowering us in Lagos State, not only in economic and political arena,
I can say that I'm really impressed with the infrastructures in place. Kudos to the Minister of Transportations. Kudos to the federal government.
Truly, good things are coming out of Nigeria, and the federal government is deserving of all the applause.
All the thrills and all the action on Nigeria's biggest dance reality show. Glow Battle of the Year is on NTA every Sunday from 8 p.m. to 9 p.m.
Candidates who are interested in gaining admission into NTA Television College JOS for the 2021-2022 two-year National Innovation Diploma Program are to apply for admission through the Joint Admissions and Matriculation Board, JAM. The courses available for application include film and television production, broadcast journalism, and television engineering technology. Such candidates must have a minimum of 5 O-level credits in relevant subjects including English language and mathematics. For more information, please contact NTA Television College, JOS, or the marketing department of any NTA station nationwide. Registrar, Announcer. To every politician, as the campaigns gain momentum and passions begin to rise, remember, the errors of your opponents do not make you a success. Do not run down your opponent and inflame passions to violence between and among your supporters. What counts is what you plan to do for the electorate and how you intend to relieve the sufferings and bring succor. Nigeria is in dire need of patriotic leaders at all levels, leaders who will make national development their priority. Concentrate on telling the electorate what you intend to do when you get into office. Focus on making your vision clear to the electorate. Don't engage in verbal abuses, fake news, or speeches. Keep dealing with issues that will bring progress. You win the hearts and minds of the people by being above board, by being civil, patriotic, and showing empathy. Let's join hands to make the 2023 elections peaceful. A message from the National Orientation Agency.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you for joining me here in Sokoto. The All Progressive Congress APC in Sokoto State has inaugurated and sworn in its new Executive Council members. Sheikh Mohammed Dati reports that the inauguration took place at the party's office in Sokoto. The report.
I will discharge my duties to the best of my ability.
Barista Muhammad Bello Abdullah administered the oath of office on the new state offices. The swearing-in followed ruling by a court of appeal sitting in Abuja, which nullified various functional congresses of the All Progressives Congress APC conducted in Sokoto State. The Court of Appeal on Thursday, 24 March 2022, upheld the election of Isa Sadiq Achida as duly elected chairman of APC Sokoto. State chairman of the party, Isa Sadiq Achida, inaugurated by the national body, said the state executives would work towards the unity and victory of the party come 2023 general elections. He said they would remain open and ready to work with all members of the party to build a strong and united APC in Sokoto.
As politicians, we hereby open to everybody who means well to this party should come in and let us move forward.
The chairman said APC remains the only party for the people at heart. In Sokoto, Sheikh Mohammed Dati, NTA News.
Sokoto State Command of the Nigeria Security and Civil Defense Corps has arrested 7 suspects for alleged banditry, possession of fake currency, and sodomy. The suspects were paraded at the command's headquarters in the state. Sheikh Mohammed Dati has more.
Parading the suspect, State Commandant Nigeria Security and Civil Defense Corps, Muhammad Saleh Dada, said Mustafa Samaila, Umar Muhammad, and Alhatu Abubakar were arrested in collaboration with Niger State Command of the Nigeria Security and Civil Defense Corps in Lafia. The commandant said the suspected bandits were always invited by their arms supplier, Abubakar Damalam, based at Lokondi village, Wababi district in Dengeshunu local government. He said they confessed to have participated in several kidnappings in Sokoto and Niger states, and they belong to the notorious bandit kingpin Dogo Gedes Group. Dada said investigation is being intensified to arrest other members of the bandits group and unravel the source of their arms.
And Juma Gidi partook in various kidnappings along Bimasa. That was very recent, about 3 weeks ago. He was among those that perpetrated the kidnappings, and he has also participated in the kidnappings of Dorawa and Salau, where about 2 people were killed, and lots of ransoms running into millions of naira have been collected.
All the suspects will be charged to court after investigations. In Sokoto, Shehu Muhammad Datti, NTA News.
You can follow this news broadcast live on our website at nta.ng/live and on our YouTube channel, NTA News Online. You can also follow our Twitter handle at NTA News Now, our Facebook page, NTA Network News, and Instagram, NTA Network for updates. That's it for us here in Sokoto. We go back to Abuja with Ruth, and Nationwide continues. Thank you.
Thank you, Nana. And let's take you back to the report we called earlier on, the gesture by King Salman Humanitarian Aid and Relief Center, Saudi Arabia, and Abubakar Siddiq Philanthropic Home, Nigeria. In Kano, Muhammad Ali will tell us about it.
Feeding the poor and needy, as scholars admonish, is an act of worship that draws someone close to Allah, especially during the month of Ramadan. For the 2022 Ramadan fast, its Armed Food Basket, a project for the Federal Republic of Nigeria and West Africa region in general. While donating the food items to beneficiaries in Kano State, the representative of Saudi Consulate says the gesture is a response to urgent need of poor people to alleviate their financial instability.
شهر رمضان المبارك، وهذا ايصال مركز الملك سلمان وبتوجيه من خادم الحرمين الشريفين.
Because Ramadan is around the corner, as you know, and we have a lot of Muslim brothers here. They might not be afford to cater for themselves in the holy months.
Partnering with King Salman Humanitarian Aid and Relief Center is a good thing, and we hope we will continue to do this year to year, year in, year out, not just during Ramadan, but every other time, and not just to Muslims alone, even to Christians. We believe in the spirit of loving your neighbors. It doesn't matter. They don't have to be Muslims before you help them out.
Some of the beneficiaries thank the 2 philanthropic centers for the gesture. Its Armed Food Basket will distribute similar food items to people of Kwara State. Muhammad Ali, NTA News.
And as part of efforts to empower the vulnerable, the Child Education and Community Development Initiative has disbursed 20,000 naira each to 400 women in 4 local government areas of Nasarawa State. Abigail Bashi reports.
The project, initiated by Child Education and Community Development Initiative in conjunction with Nasarawa State Government, UNDP and Japan Government, is aimed at promoting small-scale businesses and entrepreneurial skills among the vulnerable and those affected by crisis in the state.
A lot of the women, the girls in the villages, they usually come to town to learn this skill. When they go back, they buy their own machine to go there and start something to sustain them for a living. We felt that we need to identify them and then bring them back so that they can have a livelihood.
Beneficiaries from 14 communities in Doma, Lafia, Nasarawa and Nasarawa local government areas were trained on marketing as well as sustainable approaches to boost their business.
We are glad because we know that with the little we are going to earn today, it will help our life and the life of our children as well.
So it will really lift my business and all the women that are here.
While presenting 20,000 naira each to the beneficiaries, the project manager, Aduna Aboki, says the assistance is to encourage them become self-reliant. Interventions such as this, stakeholders say, will spur many to explore their potentials. In Lafia, Abigail Bashi, NTA News.
Over 500 women and youth are to benefit from special empowerment on agro-enterprise for self-reliant courtesy of Nigerian Army Officers' Wives Association 23 Brigade Yola in collaboration with development partners. Usman Mukhtar reports that the program is tagged Improving Food Diversity and Nutrition for All.
The Special Empowerment Program, with focus on agro-processing businesses, is part of Nigerian Army Officers' Wives Association's activities to cater for the social and economic development of families of military personnel, especially their wives and children.
I implore you all participants to take this seminar serious in order to learn skills that will make you self-reliant.
We need farming because it helps people a lot. If today we can be able to do handwork and to do some rest of the things, I think we are going to be better, and our nation also is going to be better.
The campaign, which focuses on food diversity and nutrition, has various agro-business categories which participants will be trained on by agro-business experts with a view to improving the locally generated revenue of the individuals and the community.
I'm sure after now we'll get women who are interested in the different activities and we'll enroll them and move the process forward.
This development is coming barely a month after 23 Brigades Nawa Entrepreneurship and Skill Acquisition Center commenced the production of bread in the barracks community. In Yola, Usman Mukhtar, NTA News.
The succeeding efforts of Nigerian Army in tackling various forms of social unrest in different parts of the country is now gaining the support of the civil society organizations. This came to the fore during a civil-military conference to commend troops in the front line for striving to stabilize the nation. Abubakar Kwanga reports.
More than a decade, insecurity reared its ugly head around the northeast region, with other parts of the country suffering from various forms of violent attacks. Tensions were, however, doused following application of kinetic and non-kinetic approach, which brought succor and stability in these troubled spots. In appreciation of the feat achieved, civil society organizations are offering high-level support to encourage troops succeed in the fight against insecurity.
It is beyond the military giving community development services to our civil community. It has to do with a concentrated expression of the entire interaction that between the military, the security agencies, and civil society organizations on improving the imperatives of national security.
This conference, therefore, provides a platform for all stakeholders, civil and military, to build respective capacities, to partner in an effort to find solutions to the myriad of security challenges facing our dear country.
Security problem is everybody's business. Be the eye and ears within your community. If you see something, say something and do something.
The organizations appeal to Nigerians to rally around the military and other security agencies in confronting insecurity head-on. In Abuja, Abubakar Akwanga, NTA News.
Sustainable medium of collecting data on the prevalence of child labor in Nigeria, critical actors in child protection say remains key to tackling the menace head-on. Elizabeth Omori reports that this was part of recommendations at a workshop on child labor model for the implementation of the National Child Labor Survey.
The last global report on child labor released by ILO and UNICEF shows that the number of children in child labor has risen to 160 million worldwide, an increase of 8.4 million. Obviously worried by the figures, ILO and other key players in child protection are strategizing on how to effectively implement a model to reduce the menace.
Our expectation as the ILO is to have at the end of this program a high quality data, and I think NBS and Ministry of Labor also share that expectation.
Statistician General of the National Bureau of Statistics re-emphasized synergy within the sub-Saharan region on data collection, prosecution of traffickers, and harmonized laws on child labor.
Tackling the problem of child labor and forced labor requires a multidisciplinary approach and the active participation of relevant stakeholders. It is in the light of this that the National Bureau of Statistics is collaborating with the International Labour Organization and as well as the Federal Ministry of Labour and Employment to conduct this vital National Child and Forced Labour Survey in order to guide the policy decisions and measure implementation of actions on forced and child labor in Nigeria.
The workshop is expected to enhance response to eradicating child labor and meet SDG Target 8. In Abuja, Elizabeth Omori, NTA News.
All right, let's find out what's happening in Ibadan as we join Larry. Larry?
Thank you, Ruth, and welcome to Ibadan. The Oyo State government has taken delivery of over 69,000 feeding utensils from the federal government to boost national school feeding program in the state. Correspondent Oyeyinka Omoli reports.
As part of efforts of the federal government to aid homegrown school feeding program, 69,243 feeding utensils comprising plates and spoons were presented to the Oyo State government. The items were handed over to the state program manager through the Federal Minister of Humanitarian Affairs, Disaster Management and Social Development.
The benefits of this program and its impact on the lives and mood of the individuals, groups and community is clear, evident and undeniable. While addressing cross-cutting issues of hunger, malnutrition and poverty,
Disaster Management and Social Development for handing over the feeding utensils to your state. We say a very big thank you. Thank you for the feeding utensils. We appreciate you.
Members of Oyo State Homegrown Food Vendors Association were on hand to receive the utensils.
We are thankful to them because those schools that they have added, they will use this to give the children their meals. So this one will be okay for them now.
Beneficiaries believe that the gesture would ensure that the target pupils consume free meals that preserve and promote good health. In Ibadan, Oyeyinka Omoli, NTA News.
Nigerian youths has all it takes to be leaders of today with access to the right resources as well as adequate motivation. To this end, the U.S. Consulate in Nigeria has redoubled its efforts at revamping its space in Ibadan for capacity building. Grace Ayonleke reports that the American ambassador, Mary Beth Leonard, was among dignitaries who flagged off the remodeled space. Our report is here presented.
Education raises people's productivity and creativity. It promotes entrepreneurship and technological advancement as a requisite for economic development and wealth creation. In Nigeria, the Initiative for Information, Arts and Culture Development, also known as the American Corner, has revamped its space to serve the society better in promoting and showcasing the social, cultural, and intellectual resources in the city of Ibadan and across the Southwest.
So we help young people to discover themselves, what it is that they want to do, how they can hone those leadership skills, how they can further their education, how they can further their entrepreneurial skills. So this is the place where you learn about those opportunities, where you engage at home with other people who are on that same path, and you figure out how that connection with the United States can bring you towards your dreams.
To run a nation, you need all hands on board. And so the facilities here, they're good for the youth as well as good for the senior citizens.
The library and resource center is equipped and funded with support from the American government, and it is a one-stop spot for research, literature, and other intellectual engagements.
Let's now join Abubakar in Maiduguri for continuation of Nationwide. After this break, stay with us.
Times require practical skills to remain competitive and relevant in your organization. Therefore, take advantage of NTA TV College Short Proficiency courses to sharpen your professional skills. Basic Broadcast Accounting and Auditing. Date 4th April to 15th April 2022. 2 weeks. Audio Engineering Operations and Maintenance. Date 18th April to 29th April 2022. 2 weeks. The course fee for the 2-week course is 150,000 naira only. Accommodation inclusive. The venue for all courses is the serene and secure environment of NTA TV College near Old Government House, Rayfield, Jos. For more inquiries, please call 0803-314-4383 or 0806-980-9807. NTA TV College, Jos, training you to be the best you want to be.
Do you run a breast or cervical cancer service? Are you a private or public laboratory, clinic or hospital that offer any of breast imaging, cervical cancer screening, HPV vaccination, or other breast or cervical cancer services? Is your service a primary, secondary, or tertiary center located in any part of Nigeria, no matter how remotely located it is? If yes to any of these questions, then subscribe to the OCI Foundation's Save Breast app and become accessible and visible to millions of Nigerians. It is all for free. To subscribe, just type the Save Breast application form on Google or go to the OCI Foundation's page on www.ocifoundation.org and search for Save Breast application form. Complete the form and submit. And let millions of Nigerians patronize you, all for free. Become part of the OCI Foundation's quest to tackle breast and cervical cancers in Nigeria. And join us to rise by lifting others.
Stay with us on Nationwide up to this moment, and this is Maiduguri Center. Let's move on now. Borno State government has disbursed cash support to elders and laborers providing services at Bolori stores in Maiduguri in continuation of the administration's sustained economic packages aimed at enhancing livelihood and building resilience of citizens as part of counter-insurgency measures. Mohammed Goni completes the story.
The 846 elders and laborers are service providers at Bolori stores, a popular area in Maiduguri, where trailers offload and move variety of wholesale food and non-food products from Borno to other parts of Nigeria and neighboring countries. Out of the 846 beneficiaries, Governor Zulum presented 100,000 naira each to 409 elderly, low-income persons operating around the stores, amounting to 40.9 million naira, while 50,000 naira was given to each of the 437 young laborers, made up of 387 men and 50 women, who jointly received 21.8 million naira. One of the beneficiaries was full of gratitude to the governor, saying some of them were receiving such amounts for the first time and pledged to make good use of the gesture. Governor Bagana Umar Azulum, who described the laborers as highly productive population, whose line of work have in making available basic necessities needed by all the categories of citizens across Borno State, and urged them to use the cash for micro businesses with a view to increasing their sources of income. The governor noted that the activities significantly contribute to the state's economy, adding that many trailers arrive and depart Bolori stores every day to bring in food and non-food items into Borno State and move similar products to other parts of Nigeria and neighboring countries. The Commissioner for Sports and Youth Empowerment, Sain Abuba, whose ministry coordinated the intervention, said Governor Zulum had supervised similar empowerment programs in different parts of the state. In Maiduguri, Mahmoud Goni, NTA News.
And away from that, procurement processes have been set in motion for the establishment of 40-bed capacity rehabilitation center in selected hospitals of each of the 6 states of northeastern part of the country. Managing Director, Northeast Development Commission, NEDC, Dr. Mohammed Goni Alkali, stated this during formal handover of a 500 kVA generator to Federal Neuropsychiatric Hospital, Maiduguri, Borno State. Mohammed Ibrahim has more on that.
In line with its demand-driven approach to interventions for development and revival of Northeast states ravaged by Boko Haram insurgency, the Northeast Development Commission (NEDC) has assisted the Federal Neuropsychiatric Hospital Maiduguri as requested earlier in the midst of power outage from the national grid with this presentation. Managing Director NEDC Dr. Mohammed Goni Alkali, represented by General Manager Operations, Reconstruction and Rehabilitation, Engineer Waziri Haruna Ahmadu, said the 500 kVA generator is coming after an earlier donation of an ambulance and fulfillment of a pledge, which is meant to reposition the hospital to deliver quality mental health care to people of the region traumatized by insurgency.
We will continue to do more for the sector in the Northeast, including our plans to, in the not so distant future, to start construction of 40-bed rehabilitation centers for the rehabilitation of drug addicts in the region.
Chief Medical Director of Federal Neuropsychiatric Hospital, Maiduguri, Professor Ibrahim Wakawa, described NEDC as the most impactful agency with the timely donation that will help the 300-bed capacity hospital to better cater for mental referral cases in the region and from neighboring countries.
This generator will not just serve as a backup, but it will enhance our capacity in newly established centers, such as the intensive care unit, the laboratory, and the pharmacy department that is undergoing significant expansion.
The hospital also appealed for intervention of the Commission to help it establish a prototype rehabilitation center and another for mental health and psychosocial support to serve as an agency for the healing process and to address citizens in the region traumatized by the insurgency. In Maiduguri, Muhammad Ibrahim, NTA News.
If you're just joining us, you're on to Nationwide on Africa's window to the world, the NTA. Let us at this point return to Ruth in Abuja for more reports for us this evening. So, Ruth.
Thank you, Abubakar. A non-governmental, before we take that report, let's talk about tax. The executive chairman of the Federal Inland Revenue Service says the service is working on effective legislation and deployment of technology to ensure the nation's tax net is expanded enough to accommodate more eligible taxpayers. This was at a sensitization walk in Abuja as part of activities marking the 2022 tax week. Benny Adams reports.
From street to street, they moved step by step, engaging taxpayers on the need for better tax compliance. The message is simple. Why should you pay tax and when? How to pay, where to pay, and what the money is being used for. The executive chairman FIRS, Mohamed Nemi, says the feat being achieved is as a result of effective reforms being implemented, which includes the automation of tax processes in addition to the dedication of a committed workforce.
What we intend to do this year is that we are going to suggest more practical based reforms through the financial, so that before end of year 2023, we have a tax ratio to GDP that will be as high as 12 to 15%.
In the year ended, FIRS surpassed its revenue target, generating 6.405 trillion naira in revenue, and plans to do more with more reforms targeted at taxing the digital economy. The service is also leveraging on data in revenue forecasting, planning, tax policy formulation, and driving compliance and enforcement. The 2022 Tax Week has a lot of activities lined up to celebrate members of the tax community. In Abuja, Benny Adams, NTA News.
A non-governmental organization known as Connected Development is collaborating with partners on public enlightenment on the need to mitigate the effects of global warming for a greener and sustainable society. Kenneth Inanim reports that the event with the theme Shape Our Future is in line with the annual global event on turning off non-essential electric lights for an hour.
A non-governmental organization, Connected Development, and partners in Abuja joined a worldwide movement codenamed FR. The initiative is an annual event marked every last Saturday of March to encourage individuals, communities, and businesses to turn off non-essential electric lights for 1 hour from 8:30 to 9:30 in the evening as a symbol of commitment to the planet. With non-essential lights turned off at 8:30 p.m. in this regard, the group lighted up their commitment as they pledged to always protect the ecosystem. As the lights turn on after 1 hour, the message for everyone to take action to maintain a healthy environment becomes clearer.
We must love our environment and nature as we love ourselves. And for us as Connected Development, we're committing to leading a mass campaign to get communities to plant trees.
So if we begin to pick our plastics and dispose properly, I'm sure our environment will be properly sustained.
More sensitization is required. We need to go to particularly to the grassroots, beginning from there, and as well as reach every other person.
To further mitigate effects of climate change, the organizations also urged the public to ensure that only eco-friendly leaders who can take action to safeguard the environment are voted into power at all times. Kenneth Nanim, NTA News.
If you're looking for a way to earn a living, digital marketing might be an option. More than 50 ways to go about online businesses are contained in a book titled Making Digital Marketing Work for You, which was recently launched in Abuja. Let's hear all about it from Charles Alpha.
Longer news that substantial part of human existence now is gradually being digitized. Those who do not want to be left behind are taking advantage of the innovation and business opportunities that technology offer. To those who do not know how, contained in a book titled Making Digital Marketing Work for You, authored by Fatima Binta Mohammed, are 50 ways and more to gaining hard and soft skills for a technology-driven marketing career.
So you can use email marketing, you can use social media, or you can direct traffic to your website if you have one. So those three will work for you.
The 11 chapters and 96-page book launched in Abuja was born out of the need to help those who venture into the business to succeed through proven digital channels and strategies.
Your book is just very timely because it's driving a digital Nigeria.
I'm sure that you agree with me that the cost of advertisements on a digital platform is far, far, far lower.
Binta look like touching a lot of things from youth. You should know that that child has a long age. She or he wants to reach the zenith of some certain things.
The book suggests becoming an Amazon associate, joining the ClickBank affiliate program, and selling ebooks and more are tips for intending online marketers. In Abuja, Charles Alpha, NTA News.
Talking sports, 25 players, technical crew and officials of Ghana football land in Abuja ahead of tomorrow's Qatar 2022 World Cup decider. Kene Ima Abodike brings us details.
All is now set for the second leg Qatar 2022 FIFA World Cup playoff between Nigeria Super Eagles and Black Stars of Ghana Tuesday, March 29, with the Moshood Abiola National Stadium wearing a new look.
Nigerian fans must come out in their numbers. They must be vocal. They must support the Nigerian national team. We saw the way the Ghanaian fans did at the Babayara Stadium in Kumasi. I think we should replicate the same thing, or do more when the Ghanaians, play.
Meanwhile, the National Council for Art and Culture has pledged to beef up support for the Super Eagles as they aim to secure World Cup tickets at the expense of Black Stars.
We are going to give each of the players, these are the 500 tickets here with us. We're going to give out these flags to each of them, and they will be in a customized envelopes to support the national team.
In the same vein, the Federal Ministry of Youth and Sports Development and Nigeria Football Federation have procured 20,000 tickets for fans who wish to support the Super Eagles in Tuesday's game. Public and private staff have been tasked to take responsibility for their health care by embracing sports activities as an essential part of healthy living and improved productivity. This was re-echoed at a football event, which is part of activities commemorating the third-year anniversary of NASAL in Abuja, where Team Flamingos in red and black defeated Team Antelope 3-2 to emerge champions.
This type of event is an event for us to informally meet, know ourselves, network, do other things other than the official matters, which also contribute to good relationship in the office.
With sports update, Kenen Ima Abodike, NTA News.
And we're done. Thank you very much for your company. But let's continue to push in the fight against rape and rapists. I'm Ruth Aguilera. Bye.
ladies, women, indeed every female folk. Our month is almost over,